Good morning, everybody. This is Teresa Marsh. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Bern, North Carolina. I am going to share with you today some cheating of how to get ideas for making cards. One of the neatest things we have is the catalogs. Right now, you know that we've got Sale-a-bration coming on. We've got Sale-a-bration, and it's our, here we go. This is our gift with purchase catalog that is good through the month of February. And I wanted to share with you some ways to use some of the things in here. Now today, we're going to be using this bundle. This is the Cradled in Love bundle. Can you see it okay? There we go. Cradled in Love bundle. We're going to be using this card right here. Is that going to focus? Well, anyway, we're going to be using this card right here as our springboard. And we're going to be using paper from, wait a minute, it's in here. I know it's in here. This set right here. This is a free with a $50 purchase. This actually coordinates with the Bright Skies bundle. But anyway, we're going to be using a piece of this little rainbow thing here. There's a rainbow piece there. And then we're going to be using, like I said, we're going to be using this stamp set, Cradled in Love. This is also a gift with a $50 purchase. Sometimes I go through the Sale-a-bration catalog and I think, okay, what can I make with what? You know, what goes together. And one of the cool things that they do is they tell you exactly what colors are in any of the papers. They tell you whether, we're also going to be using some of this pool party ribbon that's also a gift with a free with a $50 purchase. But anyway, sometimes things come together and they'll say, for instance, this paper that I'm going to be using some of coordinates with the Bright Skies bundle that's in the January to April mini catalog. So today we're going to be working almost entirely from Sale-a-bration for our card today. If you don't have a Sale-a-bration catalog and you're not already working with a demonstrator, I'd be glad to send you one. All you have to do is drop me a note at Teresa at Sassy Stamping with Teresa, and I'll be glad to send you a mini catalog, a Sale-a-bration catalog, and if you need one, an annual catalog. So, my website is sassystampingwithteresa.com. So if you're excited to look at some new ideas, I'm going to do my best to keep this up to date now. So if you've seen me make it online, my goal is for it to be a blog post on my blog here. So we will hope so. But like I said, if you need a catalog or anything like that, just drop me a note right here at Teresa at sassystampingwithteresa.com. Okay, now here is our sample, definitely in the pinks mode, and we're going to do similar but in a green mode, a green-blue mode. This is what we're going to make today. Okay. I've got everything put together here, but one of the biggest things is, of course, the stamping. And I have already cut this piece of white down to 2 3/4 by 4. My sample was a little bit bigger than that, or a little bit smaller than that, but I kind of cut it up after the fact. We've got a piece of white for our stamping. We've got a piece of Pool Party. We're going to make our base out of Pool Party. We got a piece of white for inside the card. We've got a piece of Designer Series paper. We're going to put it in the top corner this time. And we've got a piece of Lost Lagoon. I cut this from the perennial postage dies, and it's the second to the largest die. All right. Now the challenge. Whew. We're going to be stamping and coloring. This is not something I'm used to doing in a quick manner, so this ought to be interesting. Okay. And also, I know that the base stamp is going to stick off just a little bit. It's going to ride off just a little bit like that. Now, I want to do this. I used, in my sample that I made, I used Lost Lagoon. And I'm trying to decide if I want to use Lost Lagoon for it again. Uh-oh. What did I do? Well, I think I better turn that over. I had a piece of smudge on there. All right. So we're going to take Lost Lagoon. I'm going to start with Lost Lagoon. And we're going to stamp our rug. Okay. Very good. You're going to hear squeaking in the background. That's cleaning stamps. All right. Next, I'm going to not put this away, but I am going to close it up. I'm going to do a little bit more stamping with that, but not yet. Then we're going to take wild wheat. I think you could probably use pecan pie if you wanted to, but I just think of a lighter color than pecan pie when I think of, a bassinet. I think of it being just a little bit less. And that's going to go right there. And we're going to tap that wild wheat several times to be sure that we've got ink on all the places. There's a little cutout. There's a little gap in that rug where the back feet go. So it's not too hard to find where it's supposed to go. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. All right. I'm going to be able to do this online. Stamping and coloring is not something you might notice. The stamping and coloring is not something I've done a lot of online yet. Now we've got a mobile that's above the bassinet. How do you pronounce it? Mobile or mobile? Anyway, a toy that hangs above the bassinet to keep the baby entertained. So there's how it hangs. And I'm going to once again use the wild wheat to put that up here. Let me see if I can do this without getting my head in there. There we go. Alrighty. Okay. Now, I can go back to the Lost Lagoon. And stamp Bundle of Joy. And I'm also going to, just like in the example, I'm going to stamp Sweet just above it. So it's a sweet bundle of joy. There you go. And you notice I'm using the I forgot what it's called again. What is this called? The Stampin' Pierce mat. I knew I'd come up with it. I knew I'd remember it. So that's all of our stamping for right now. And you use the Stampin' Pierce mat anytime you have photopolymer stamps, because that way you've got a nice cushion behind them. Now I've got several alcohol markers here. First off, I have, I've got light wild wheat for the bassinet. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just kind of get pieces of it colored and let it look like there's light shining on it from this direction. If I leave just a little bit of white on the edge that way, it'll give that impression that there's light shining on it from that direction. At least that's the idea. You can just color it straight in. I just think this adds a little bit more dimension to it. And what I did on the example is I did this with the shading, but then I did the horizontal pieces, the more horizontal pieces, I did them full in. And this is, like I said, the light wild wheat. Okay, this I can do a little bit like that. There we go. It does work. It gives it a bit. All right, this is going to go this way. This will go this way. And the back one, don't forget the back one. Do you ever finish coloring something and then you look and go, oh, I forgot that part. That's supposed to be that color, not this color. I do that. Unfortunately, I do that a lot more than I would like to admit sometimes. Our arch to hang the mobile is colored flat in, as does the border here. Coloring it flat in with the light wild wheat. Okay. And we want to be sure we've got a little bit of color on the back ones too. There we go. Oops. This will be solid, and we're going to make this solid. This is going to be the base, if you will, that it's on. And that's part of the base. Okay. So that's all the wild wheat I'm going to use. Now we're going to use light Lost Lagoon. And we're going to put it up here. And we're going to use it with with the brush in, and we're just going to put some color where the texture is showing. It gives an impression of being a very light blue that way. If you want it to be a little bit more full of color, you can comment with the light pool party with the brush end, and that can give it a little bit more color if you want to just pop it in there just a little bit here and there. And there, keeps it from looking like it's white with Lost Lagoon. There. And I like the contrast between the light pool party and the light Lost Lagoon for this particular thing. They're not the same color, but they're very complementary. Now we're going to color the blanket. Let's color the blanket. Well, this is light pool party. The main part of the blanket is light pool party. And I know it kind of looks like this has got to be a boy thing, but if you think of it as a green, it's sort of green, then it's not associated with any stereotypical gender color. Now, I did have the dark pool party for the little stripe there, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. It's kind of interesting how close it can look to Lost Lagoon in some situations. But I like throwing pool party and Lost Lagoon together. They are so complementary. And once again, I'm going to pop some light pool party in very gently in here in the bedding. You see I'm just kind of touching some color in there between those spokes and whatnot, just to keep it from looking like the bed's not been made. There's some sheets in there somewhere, right? Let's do the whale and light Lost Lagoon. I mean light pool party, excuse me. And his bottom section in dark pool party. And I had Lemon Lolly out and Light Daffodil Delight on the example, but once I colored those two, the moon and the star, they were so similar, they didn't show up differently enough for it to be logical. I think I'm getting ready to have to order some new ones, huh? Anyway, there wasn't enough color difference on such a little piece that you could really see a difference. Okay. Well, there's our focal item there. Sweet Bundle of Joy. All right. Now, this is our pool party ribbon, and we got this I got this as a gift with purchase from Sale-a-bration. This is free with a $50 purchase. And I want to put it underneath this to kind of peek out a little bit both ways. Okay. The best way I know to do something like that is to put some tape down for it to stick to underneath everything. This is a Stampin' Seal, and it works really well for this sort of thing. I'll put a little bit of extra there. I want to stick out a little bit. And I want to stick out a little bit on this side. I don't want to have to stick out, it doesn't even stick out a whole lot, but I do want it to show. And obviously I will need to trim that off. Okay. Now, I think what I will do here, instead of putting it on this, let's see if I can put some extras in here to help lift that up around the ribbons. So I'm adding dimensionals there. Then I'm going to put dimensionals on each of the four corners of the focal piece. That way it hopefully won't look so much like it's bowed up in the middle to go over the ribbon. This is an experiment, so we'll see if that works. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I do not usually put this many dimensionals. I usually would put 4 on something like this, but I wouldn't usually have those extra ones in the middle. There we go. Okay, that turned out really well. I like that. Of course, we need to cut this off a bit. And let's trim this one. This one needs to be a little bit more precise too. There we go. I have a piece of ribbon on this pair of snips to remind me that that's my ribbon snips. Alrighty. Now, we're just about ready to put this all together. Okay. Our card base is just a 5.5 by 8.5, folded 4 1/4. Folded on the score. You ever use your bone folder to help smooth out some of those lines that sometimes happen when we cut, and it seems like it's just a smidgen like turned up at the corner. Let's see if I can get any more blue out of this. Sometimes it works fine. It's like it's getting down to the wire. I guess I should have gotten some more out before I started this video, huh? Okay. That's the only thing I'm going to need that for, so that's not so bad. All right, we're going to put this in this upper corner. Just trying to get these borders, this border and this border, even, and as much as possible, visually, diagonally cut that. While we didn't have to cut this, it shows up as though we had cut a diagonal. Now, we're going to have a whole lot of dimensionals on this one because we've got layer on layer of dimensionals. And yes, I'm going to put more than 4, I think. There you go, 6. That'll do it, right? I was just realizing, I looked up and realized that I've got some candy on my desk. Do you guys have candy on your desk when you're working, so you can take a little bit of a candy break, maybe a mint or chocolate. I used to keep M&Ms on my desk. And my blood sugar got worse, so I quit. And there you go. There's your sweet bundle of joy. Now, we could just write inside or stamp inside or whatever onto the pool party, but I like to put white on a colored cardstock. And you'll notice that this is not filling up that space. I found out watching, who was it, Rhonda Wade, that if I cut 3.5 by 5, I can get 5 inner portions out of one piece of cardstock. And the way I was doing it before, I was only getting 4. So now I could do this with glue, but since I had so much challenge with the glue last time, let's just do it here with this. Okay. So there we go. We've got a nice place to put our sentiment inside. And there it is. So what do you think? Does it look like a baby card you'd be proud to send? I'm not going to be getting any baby cards anymore. I'm kind of past that. But you know what? I've got lots and lots of grands. So my grands seem to be offering me new opportunities every day, seems like. Okay, so there's our sweet bundle of joy card, made almost entirely, other than regular cardstock. It's basically out of our Sale-a-bration Catalog. The ribbon is from the Sale-a-bration Catalog, the stamp set's from the Sale-a-bration Catalog, and the designer series paper is from the Sale-a-bration Catalog. So there you have it. Let me know if you have any questions about how to put this card together. And as I said, I'll do my best to get a copy of the instructions, or have a blog post about this, so that you'll have an opportunity to go to my blog and check out how I put it together. If you have any questions or you want to get in touch with me, of course, it's Teresa at sassystampingwiththeresa.com. And that's it for today. And I wanted to let you know that I'm here for you. If you have card questions, if you have catalog questions, or if you want someone to pray for you, feel free to drop me a note. So, bye, and I'll see you next time. Remember, God loves you.